Hello everyone, welcome to Good Journeys Tarot, and today we are going to be talking about the Nine of Earth, aka the Nine of Coins, also known as the Nine of Pentacles, or Nine of Stones. I started this journey of exploring each card individually throughout this year with the Eight of Pentacles last month, and am continuing that today. I'm pulling from a variety of resources as I study various books, websites, and other things to get a deeper understanding of the individual cards. And by studying different systems, as you can see here, I will hopefully gain a better understanding of the cards overall. So today we are looking at the Nine of Earth, or the Nine of Coins, as the Marseille would call it. And the depiction here of the Nine of Coins in the Marseille is actually how the discs in the original Golden Dawn deck were arranged according to Lon-Milo Duquette in his book, Understanding Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot. It also included 9 white roses, which touched the coins. Nines, generally speaking, are about nearing completion, getting to the rewards in your journey, that type of thing. So let's take a look at this as it relates to the earth, or our financial and health, our grounding suit of the tarot. In the Thoth, they call it the Lord of Material Gain, which is basically what you're going to get from many depictions of the card. Here you'll see 6 coins with planetary symbols on them. You'll also see a solar orb in the middle with 2 other orbs overlapping it. That green and that blue being symbolic of things that I can't recall off the top of my head. But the idea here is that this is luck, this is gain. And in fact, Aleister Crowley himself called this twice, the good luck card in his statements and descriptions of the card itself. Lon-Milo Duquette says that this is probably the most accurate description based on the Book of Thoth of any of the cards in the Thoth Tarot. Personally, this card doesn't resonate with me because of its very geometric symbology. There's nothing I can really pull on off the top of my head to say, okay, this is what this card means. But that is the Thoth Tarot. Here we have the RWS, and almost all versions of the RWS clones out there will have some depiction of a woman with a bird. In some cases, it's quite a different bird. And in some of them, they will even pick up on the snail, which for many is a very important part of this card. The card itself, when most people see it, they think of luxury. They think of luxury and a life fulfilled, basically a person of means, that type of thing. Again, depicting material gain. And this could be gained from an inheritance, as many have indicated. There's also the downside of this card, which some people say this may be a kept woman. As you see, there is a hooded bird here. That idea of being captive, being, while having it well, being trapped where you are. For me, as I've seen this card, this has always been my self-care card. When I see this card, I feel like I have to enjoy the things that I have, to make the use of the things that I have acquired. And it also brings to mind the question of, how did I get here? And this is pretty much the idea which is embraced in the Wildwood Tarot, which is a completely different system. This is the card of tradition, of, how did we get here? Remembering those that came before us and their contributions to our life now. And that's a little bit of what you can get out of the Nine of Pentacles in the RWS when you look at it. If this woman is here because of an inheritance, well, okay, that would be part of her going back to her tradition, her connection with her ancestors, and those who came before her. It's a representation of what's been built by tradition over time, whether that's her own personal behavior and her own personal actions, or those of her ancestors who gave her the inheritance. So there is a little bit of a connection there, though at first glance, when I looked at this card, I couldn't see any relationship to the RWS. It's very much a very specific depiction and a piece of the idea that is in the Nine of Earth, our card of material gain, for the most part. I would also like to look at a few other cards and their depictions, which are very striking to me. They're not simply a woman with a bird. The Slow Tarot does depict a woman with a bird. However, rather than being in a garden, it looks like she's in a drawing room. You can see paintings behind her. She's simply staring out in the window and enjoying all that she has. It's a very beautiful depiction. I think one of the reasons I really like it is the sunflowers in the background. We all know that's a thing for me. And the fact that it's a different type of bird. It's not a hunting bird, but a pet bird. This is one of my favorite depictions of the Nine of Pentacles, I guess because I do love flowers. I like that this bouquet is being built out of one's own garden. That sense of accomplishment and pride and beauty, which is depicted in the RWS, is here in this card as well. This is the Golden Thread Tarot by Labyrinthos. It clearly depicts the idea of luxury, a gated community, as it were, a gated garden with a beautiful ornate gate. There is prosperity here, which is something that is abundant within all of these cards as we look at them to a degree. Our abundance can come from our traditions. And finally, there's this depiction, which goes back to my first thought when I see this card every time, which is self-care. Enjoying what you have, realizing that you are better off today than you were yesterday in at least some way, and taking advantage of that gain that you have in your life, whether it's to have a spa day or to have a mani-pedi or to have your car washed. I mean, sometimes that just makes me so happy, just to have a clean car. So yeah, this is those are my thoughts right now on the Nine of Earth, aka the Nine of Pentacles. This card would be associated with September 2nd through the 11th if you're going by the astrological correspondence of Venus and Virgo. However, if you're following the Wheel of the Year with the Wildwood, it would be associated with this week that we are in right now, January 13th through the 22nd. On the downside, this card can denote dissatisfaction or covetousness, even loneliness. You can see the woman is by herself in the garden. There's no one else around. The woman in the drawing room is alone, staring out into the window. Even in the Nine of Stones from the Wildwood, we see this practitioner who is looking back and meditating upon what their ancestors have done to get them to where they are today, their tradition. They're alone. Even in our self-care card, they are alone. This card is all about taking time to be self-sufficient and to attain the things that you desire. And that's the idea behind our little snail friend. So, what is the key thing that I take away from my studies of this card this week? It is, how did I get where I am now? How did I get the things that I am enjoying? How did I get where I am to the point that I can experience some material gain finally in my life. And this is really something that has happened in my life this year. And I know that's very different than what's going on with many people as a result of the pandemic. But again, a very fitting place to start my year in studying through each of the cards as I look at this Nine of Pentacles, or Nine of Earth. Thank you for tuning in. Please do like, subscribe, and follow along on my journey this year as I go through all 78 cards through a variety of sources and systems to better understand them. Again, this is Rosemary. Good journeys.